Hi, this is Shashank Khaitan.
This is Janvi.
This is Ishan.
And
you're watching Bollywood Hungama.
Okay, we have the victorious team of Dhadak with us, director Shashank Khaitan, who has finally agreed to give an interview after a really long hiatus, and we have the Janvi Kapoor and Ishan Khattar. Pleasure having you guys on Bollywood Hungama first of all.
Thank you, and
Faridun, I have never shied away. You have never asked me.
You know, you to only meet me success bashes mein, matlab, in fact, Dangal ke success bash mein he met me.
Dangal success bash.
Yeah. But I told him that Badrinath, we really want to do, like the promo had just come out. I told him we have to do an interview and everything. He's like that Varun will do it, and I'm like really busy with the edits and all those.
Nothing. Faridun, you've never asked me for an interview.
You told me.
I'm
but
did
we meet or not?
Fans of Faridun.
Did we meet or not?
He's never asked me for an interview.
Come on.
He's like, Varun आ लिया है मेरे पास तो तुम्हारे पास क्यों आऊँगा? That's what he told me.
No, you told me that right now I'm busy. So seriously, I think we need to document. We need to start documenting this now. Are you guys aware of this fact that he has entered this league of directors of the likes of Raju Hirani, Aditya Chopra and Suraj Barjatya, जिनकी की पहली 3 फिल्में hits हैं. So Shashank Khaitan has entered that league. Are you aware of that?
Round of applause
for that. Yeah, I think
it's very humbling, but I don't think so. It's entirely true. Those guys are really, really legendary filmmakers.
Right.
I think I have still some time to make a mark.
But I think you're legendary too.
Thanks.
No, but you know that.
अगली फिल्म के लिए मैं तुम्हें sign करता हूँ.
This is a nice seesaw actually happening, which is very interesting. All right, but you know, it is also being said, in fact, that that article that I'm sure that even you must have read as well. So it's being said that in terms of the way you present the local areas of India, in terms of the heartland of India, is something which is very interesting, which a lot of people maybe currently they are not doing it. So that's something that you take that as a huge compliment. Understanding the milieu, the local milieu of.
I mean, I can take it as a compliment, but I think I just do what I know. I have grown up in a city called Nasik. It is what you can call a 2-tier city or something, which is like an upcoming city which is doing well. And I think somewhere I kind of relate to all small towns in a very similar space. I kind of relate to them, the fact that the kind of family values, the kind of people that I see in Nasik or I've grown up with, I kind of try and show that in my worlds that I create. I've also had the advantage of traveling a lot across India because I was into sports from a very early age. And I think all those experiences, all the people I've met, I'm trying to kind of show them on the big screen so that these are the people I know. So I don't know whether it's a compliment or whether it's it's something that I try deliberately. I think it's just something that I know, and that's the kind of films I'm making.
So how's it been for you guys? You've been visiting the cinema halls and you've been seeing the way people are reacting on Zingat and they're just going crazy. All those videos are doing the rounds. I'm sure that this is the first for both of you. How's the experience for you?
It's overwhelming, actually. I think the best experience in all of this so far has been to actually visit these. When we went to Gaiety Galaxy and we saw the audience reactions, and they were reacting in places where we really didn't anticipate them to react, and responding to things that you know, you wouldn't imagine that they would respond to. But I think that just made us feel like we were connecting with them and the story was getting across and they were invested in the characters, which I think felt like a huge accomplishment.
All right, so I was reading one of these write-ups. It was not exactly a review, and I think my Meenakshi Shedde for the matter, and she has really praised your performance in very glowing terms, in terms of being so young and still the way you've just understood the entire, you know, जिस तरीके से पूरा आप घुस गए हैं कैरेक्टर में, और वो बहुत बार क्या होता है कि बगैर कहे कुछ अगर आप कुछ बयान कर दें उसकी बात ही कुछ और होती है. Is that something that really making you feel good after all the wonderful stuff that you did for Majid Majidi's film, but maybe not many people saw it, but now people are seeing it and acknowledging it in a different light altogether?
No, it's wonderful. I mean, I still, by the minute, I'm getting messages from people on social media and on my phone, and it's very overwhelming. There's love in abundance for this film. You know, people are watching it for all kinds of different reasons, but taking away so much more than what they went, you know, to the theaters for. And I think that's the biggest compliment, is that I was able to play my part in telling this story, and I was able to satisfy the makers of this film, primarily Shashank, and the audiences who went in to watch a story and came out with a satisfying feeling. You know, they were able to believe in it, even for a moment, and that's the biggest reward. And like she said, you know, honestly, when we went to the theaters, just to underline what she said, when we were performing, we weren't like, these were not tropes, these were not anecdotes that we performed to the gallery so that people would react to them, you know, like to summarize it, C.T. Maru moments or, you know, that kind of thing. It was, we were just playing the parts and going through the beats, and to see people react to that and own it, and, you know, that was amazing. I mean, there's a moment in the film where she saves my character, and they elope, and to see people clapping at a moment that is, it's a heroic moment for the female lead in the film, which is, it's so cool. I think it's so wonderful. So I think these are the biggest rewards, you know, and it's a blessing to be a part of a film like this.
All right, and everyone is talking about the climax, and it's just totally just leaves everyone stunned, and your expressions and the fact that you've shot it in a total silent mode is something that everyone is talking about as well. What was your reaction like when you were preparing for it? Because, you know, that reaction you had to bring out, because the movie is still running, so wouldn't talk much about it, but it's something that it's going in phases. The way you react, it's going in phases. So what was your preparation like for something like that?
You know, I think that with everything that we did in this movie, of course, I had Shashank to look to for guidance. But I think the fact that we shot this at the end, it was the last day of shoot, and by that point, I think we were very attached to the characters and the world that we had created. I really don't know how to answer this question without giving away.
Just to add to that, I think the only thing I told her is that don't have any preconceived notions about how you need to perform this scene. You know, because anytime you experience anything in life, we have so many visual, we've seen so many movies, all of us, that we almost kind of sometimes rely on other people's expressions and depictions of different emotions or references. So all I told her is, what was very unique about this scene was it was something which was so unique, almost a scene which has probably done very few times in Indian cinema or not even happened, a shock like that. So I told her that don't anticipate anything, and let's take it by the book. Let's see it. Let's see what you do instinctively, and all I told her is keep your journey in mind. Do not try and show me any emotion. Just remember your journey. Just remember what Parthavi has been through in this entire film, right from the beginning till the end, till that moment. And once that shock happens, just respond to that.
I think.
So I think that is the only feedback, or rather the guidance or advice I gave her at that point of time, that don't have any preconceived notions. Don't think, just feel it.
The idea was not to perform anything. That wasn't the aim of it at all. I think what was important, the only preparation was the feeling that she was with at the start of that moment. I think that's the only thing that we were concentrating on, or that I was concentrating on, is to be in the moment and then let things affect you.
Success press conference today that when Karan Johar asked you about that, आपकी धड़कनें कैसे race कर रही हैं, so you said that let's not intellectualize it. But the fact is that I
said intellectualize.
So whatever. So but the sort of family that you hail from and everyone around you, meet your brother as well. So you have that, I think, that ingrained intellectual element which is there as well, and I think that you do bring to the table as far as your performances are concerned, be it Majid Majidi or be it Shashank Khaitan. There is something that you manage to say that is internalized. You like to internalize at a very young age, which is, I think, quite interesting as well, the way you manage to do that. What is your process like when you're just trying to just become that character, just understanding the situation with that you are in at that point of time, the context?
Well, I think I'm only 2 films old, sir, so I can't really say what the process is. I can definitely recognize certain things that I've felt in the making of both of these films.
Why I say that? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you know, I'm sure because many things जो होती हैं आपकी preparation आपकी शायद बहुत पहले से start हो चुकी होती है. The story that your mother must have told you about your grandfather and various situations and the sort of ideologies that they possibly had. So I'm saying from that maybe it is stemming out from पहले से आप शायद preparation certain चीज़ों के लिए आपकी शायद हो चुकी होती है. You just have to dip your hands into it and just take it out.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously bring all your past experiences, the generational experiences of the your family and all that you know, you bring it all to the table. You have to give your heart and soul to a film to bring it to life. I really believe that. I really don't think it's a frivolous thing at all to play a part and to invest yourself in it. I think you have the greatest opportunity to actually learn and derive so much from every film that you're a part of, that I think it would be a sin to waste that. So I think it only comes from that you know, yearning to want to learn and to want to become this, you know, live the life and to feed off of it. That's always the idea and the approach. And I think the approach may change, but the general thing is for me, it's most important to understand the character as deeply as I can. And whatever it takes to do that, I'm happy to do, you know, be it, you know, in the preparation process or, you know, during the shoot. If I have to go out on a leg and do something that maybe I as Ishan would never do, it's the biggest opportunity for me. For example, there's some things that physically, like for example, I would not jump into muck, which probably has excretion and God knows what all in it. But when I didn't question it for a moment when Majidi sir asked me to, you know, jumping into a well, it's literally like you have to surrender. It's a leap of faith here, you know. But there was a good energy and there was that faith, you know, on this film. So I'm happy to do that, you know, and I always come out of it learning something.
And just to add to this is also I feel is both of them, and with my interaction to them, is that you know, the conversations in their houses, the conversations we have always had, has never been one-dimensional. The conversations are not just always about movies. It is always about life, and I think that's what these two bring to the table, or rather to their characters, is that we discuss life on multiple levels. We are sometimes discussing different philosophies, we are sometimes discussing politics, we are sometimes discussing world politics, different things that are happening, incidents, poetry, music, dance, so many different aspects of life, and we're having and what I'm very glad about the two of them is that they're well versed with it and they understand it and they have a perspective to it. So I think that perspective enables us to have a very open discussion. That's why discussion is not very one-dimensional. Like it's not a, as he said, it's not a frivolous discussion. Like if I tell them let's do this, it's not like sir aap bol rahe hain to kar dete hain. It's not that. It's a very open conversation about why would this character do it. You know, so there have been so many times where we have actually discussed the entire past of what, you know, what happens in a Rajput household, what happens in a, you know, a lower middle class restaurant owner in Udaipur, what is his background all about, taken them through life lessons to kind of maybe come across in a very simple moment. In fact, I remember one of the song montages, we having a long discussion about what the history of life is. So I think because of those kind of conversations, and I really appreciate the two of them because they have perspectives in life, so we can have these enriching discussions, so which in small bits contribute to the film.
Yeah, and if I can add to that, in turn it contributes so much to the relationship of the two characters.
Absolutely.
Because Shashank is somebody who really encourages understanding the history of your character, and when there's that clash of ideologies and of you know, understanding and faith and those things, it really defines your relationship that much better, especially in the second half of this film. You know, when you know your character well, is when you start understanding the conflict in the relationship as well.
It helps you find reality.
A lot of reality, the reality of the relationship comes.
Right. So now Arjun Kapoor has tweeted that it's out today. Dhadak Shashank Khaitan has made a heartwarming and yet gut-wrenching love story. He has handled the two of them so deftly. Ishan, you have nailed the simplicity and energy of a young kid who just sees purity in love. Janvi, you left me speechless, so bloody proud of you. So when you just read something like this, yeah, when you read something like this, and yeah, obviously Sonam has been
bloody के बाद pause जो आपने लिया, हम सब थोड़े confused आ गए.
नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं.
So bloody.
There was नहीं. All right, so obviously Sonam has gushed the way only Sonam Kapoor can do it. Everyone has been extremely supportive. What?
Yeah.
In fact, there's a demand that we should do like an interview with Sonam and Janvi together. It will be some on another level altogether. So yeah. All right. So what was your reaction when you were just seeing this love pouring from within your family? And because I think what Arjun has written is beautiful.
I think you know, their opinion means the world to me, and everything that I set out to do in my life is first for, you know, my father and my sisters and my brother, to make them proud. I think validation from them means the world to me, and I hold their opinion in the highest regard. So to have their approval, I still remember, I think I was the most nervous at the screening that they were coming to, because Arjun Bhaiya and Anshala Didi were seeing it. I think even more nervous than I was about Dad seeing the film. But just to have their seal of, I don't even want to say approval, but to know that I've made them proud somewhere is a wonderful feeling.
All right, so now Shashank Khaitan, you know, there is this entire debate about the entire comparison with Sairat, and you've been, I think, braving the entire thing the way it, because you know it's when you have a classic, it's always going to be, and there is this entire argument that this is catering to a much bigger audience, and obviously there have to be different elements into it as well. So you talk about the lower middle class family in terms of restaurant honor, but there are people who are saying that the restaurant is quite plush, so it doesn't really look like that it belongs to like a lower caste.
Yeah, actually,
we made the restaurant smaller than it.
Right. So how do you handle with
the
comparisons and the criticism that is coming as far as that thing is concerned?
You know, I welcome all the criticism. I welcome. It's a matter of perspective. Probably, as I said, I understand Udaipur from a certain perspective. As you mentioned, that the restaurant may be looking a bit too plush, but that's how the lower middle class restaurants in Udaipur do look like. Of course, you can go to Udaipur and find many other restaurants which look even worse than that, and then you have other lower middle class families running restaurants which are much better looking than the one we had as well. You have to realize that when I chose to set it in Udaipur, it is a city which is thriving on tourism. It's a very royal city, very regal city. It talks about a lot of Rajput pride, a lot of Mewadi pride over there, but it's a very heavy dominant tourism city. People over there are fighting their means to kind of project something which they are not, and that is exactly what this family is. This family is running a restaurant which is catering to foreign tourists primarily. All the restaurants over there are around Lake Pichola, so the views are the same. You have a Lake Palace Taj which is right in the center of it and having the best view, and then you have a very, very lower middle class restaurant right at the lake having the same view. That is in a certain sense what equalizes life over there. But yet there is a distinction in the way they talk. Also, a lot of the caste angle, a lot of the class angle over there, because it's so heavily tourist dominated, is almost kind of people are smiling over it, you know. So it's not so in your face, but it is very prevalent. It is prevalent in the way they behave with each other, but because tourism is such a big part of that town, because of the thing, they are not actively kind of pushing it out there and looking at people and putting them down, but it is definitely over there. It is in smaller things like the earrings they wear. You know, it differs from earring to earring. Now, I had the choice of saying that I'm going to adapt and make it as ruthless or be as authentic as I can to the city I chose and the characters I chose, and I went that route, and I have absolutely no regret about that. Whether it is conversations about caste, as I mentioned in the press con, that whether you talk about Rajputs and Mewadis, there is an immediate subcaste angle and class angle to it, which is very prevalent. I didn't choose to do it maybe with audio, I chose to do with a visual sense of it, which you can call it subtext or text. But that's how I chose to make the film, because for me, that's what happens in that city. Because everyone, like the biggest palace owners are also hoteliers, and the smallest restaurant owner is also a hotelier, and they're all kind of catering to the same tourists. So it kind of equalizes them. It unites them in a very different way. They still have that awareness of class, of caste, but it unites them. So even the biggest Rajput over there is still kind of serving somebody, but not feeling good about it.
Yeah, that pride and that
pride
ego
which is being hurt is what we are showing, and there's a beautiful sequence in the film where you see that in Ashutosh Rana's character when his son is serving beer to a foreign tourist, and he tells him that don't serve the beer, just smile at the tourist. That's your job. Serving beer is not your job. Now there are subtleties I've done. And for me, it was very important that I keep it to a subtext level, because I have lived a lot in Udaipur. I have seen that city on very close quarters, and all of that tension is at a very surface level. It's simmering within. But because tourism is the biggest thing, nothing is allowed to come on the foreground, because it will then suffer. The city will suffer. If all these clashes come out in the open, the tourism will drop over there. So they are all aware of it. So I chose to be as authentic as I can to over there. But I respect everyone who felt that it was not enough. Some have understood it, some have not. Some have told me that you shouldn't have been so subtle about it. You should have been a bit more vocal about it, which I respect their views, but I have to choose to decide how I want to tell the story. And this is what I have chosen to say. It's there visually for you to see. And if you feel that's not good, that's not enough, fair enough. But for me, that's good enough.
You've had two back-to-back successful films, and after that, you're told that you'll be remaking Sairat, which is like which is a classic film. Like he talked about the intellectual part a short while back, but the fact is that it is a film that you can intellectualize a lot about, because this is just a perception, because the caste element that is mentioned in that film, so it helps a lot of people in terms of that you're actually talking about the suffering that they're having. So people feel from that perspective maybe, but at the same time, when you are remaking a film like that, what is your thought process like? Because the same studio is partnering once again, and then you have Karan Johar as well. So what is the thought process like in terms of that, how to just balance out the entire thing? Because you're having a Marathi milieu, which is a specific audience, and then you're having a pan-India audience, and not merely pan-India, you're also having an audience which is all across the world. So how do you just balance out the entire thing?
As I said, you have to react to your instinct. First of all, I don't know if many people know that I am from Nasik. So I probably understand Sairat very deeply, because in a lot of places I have played cricket growing up in Nasik, and traveled to places like Lasalgaon, Kolhapur, and even deeper interiors of Maharashtra to play cricket. So in fact, the first scene of the movie, which happens on a cricket ground, for me felt so surreal. It almost seemed like one of the cricket matches I was playing when I was a young boy, and literally villagers of Maharashtra betting 10,000 bucks on us and saying ki ye chakka marne walo hai, ki he's going to hit a six and stuff like that. So for me, the film was very, very personal. In fact, I am not someone who relied on subtitles for that film. I understood the language very personally. I speak Marathi, so I understood all of that. So for me, I reacted then, and this was not anybody else's choice to make the film. To make an adaptation of Sairat came from me, and it came 2 minutes after I saw the film. Literally, I got out of the theatre shocked, stunned, absolutely in shock. I was with my mother when I saw the film. I sat in the car, we were not talking to each other, and I called up Karan and I said, Karan, I've just seen Sairat and I want to adapt Sairat. And he's like, why? I said, you see the film and then we'll have a discussion. And then I showed him the film, and then I took him through the various things that I wanted to tell, wanted to change, my perspective on it as a filmmaker, as a person, and then I chose to make it. And I think what was important for me is, once I took those choices, that I have to go with it with my full conviction. Yes, when you make a film in Hindi, a lot changes. A lot of things that you can do probably in a regional language film, you cannot do when you do it in Hindi. The whole censor board guidelines changes completely. But I don't think so there were any of the restrictions I faced. I think what I chose to do was make the film the way I did. And I have no regrets about that, or I do not look back and say I would have done things differently. This is what I wanted to do with the film. There's a lot of talk about, oh, you've really glamorized this city. I have done nothing like that. If you say about you have to make a real film, then that is really what Udaipur is. And I would just encourage people to go and see Udaipur for that, and maybe then have a conversation. I have not done any special efforts to glamorize it. I have just put the camera, and that's exactly how Udaipur looks. So I have chosen to tell the film with a certain perspective. I have chosen to talk about a lot of things in my own way. For example, whether it is handicap of a person. One of Ishan's friend in the film suffers from dwarfism. In Sairat it was dealt with very beautifully in a certain way, where they acknowledged his self-pity towards himself or what suffering. For me, what I felt is, and we shot something similar, when I was it, what I felt is just showing that character as a regular person of society and not kind of making him self-loathe in that guilt, made him a stronger person and made us more accepting. For me, Madhu's character, who depends on him emotionally without bothering about his physical disadvantages, made me feel that I am more accepting of that character. So those are perspectives I had. Some people have respected that, some people have questioned that, but I think that's the medium you live in. That's the movies you make.
Did you speak to Nagaraj Manjula? Did you have any discussions with him?
Never. I have in fact unfortunately never met him. Would love to meet him at some point of time. Would love to see his reaction to the film as well and what he feels about it. But I've not, unfortunately. When I decided to make it, I was shooting Badri at that time. I was busy with Badri, and life has been such that we will never end up meeting here.
Yeah, so in fact, Varun says that this is your best film. How do you react to that?
How do I react to that? I personally believe it's my best film. I genuinely believe it's my best film. When I saw this film, I was really, really proud about it. I know Karan feels the same way. And all the goods and bads said, nothing can change that for me. For me, it's been one of the most special experiences making this movie.
Right.
Getting the complete freedom from Karan, from the Studio Z when they read the script, having produced the original, there was something which they got excited about, why they agreed to let us adapt it. And even after they saw the film, the kind of feedback I got from them, so it's remains special, absolutely. And in a sense, I agree with Varun on a lot of what he says.
So what are you guys doing next? And can you, in fact, last interview she said that she'd love to work with you once again. So can you see that happening as well in terms of, as a jodi is something that really works? So what sort of offers have been coming your way?
If people would like to see us again, they'll cast us together. I don't think it's up to us. Ask Shashank. He's in one of the privileged positions to do that.
In fact, I've asked many questions. I'll ask the last question later. But what sort of offers have been coming your way post Dhadak in terms of, because within the industry, the people that this is what you can do and this is what you, because promo ke baad jab aap film dekhte hain, there's a better perspective as to what all you can bring to the table.
I know one filmmaker who was very happy who saw the film and said, "Oh my God, thank God I can cast these two people."
Who was that?
I can't tell you that.
So he likes to keep the mystery going.
I really don't know. I just hope I get to do really nice films that are as satisfying as this one.
Yeah.
I really don't know. There's nothing in the pipeline that I can talk about just as of yet.
Right.
And there will be, I think you'll be sooner or later. I mean, you'll probably know around the same time I will. So I really can't tell.
And what was the reaction of Shahid? He tweeted about it.
Yeah.
But what did he personally tell you?
I think he chose not to go out there and speak about it publicly too much.
It's a very short tweet that he did.
Yeah. Please go watch Dhadak is what he said. Is because I think he's confident. He was confident about the film, and wanted it to speak for itself and have an identity of its own in that sense. And I don't know. I just know that he was very happy after watching the film. He said that it's all good. I have nothing to say about the film. He had his opinions. He had his discussions about it, but he was very confident and he was very positive and he was very happy.
Must be. And what are you doing next, Shashank Khaitan?
I'm researching Ranbhoomi deeply. It's a film I'm very excited about. But it requires a lot of research for me to be able to even write the final screenplay. And there are a couple of other ideas which I'm discussing with Karan. So I think in the next month or month and a half, I'll be in a better position to say what exactly I'm attacking. But definitely Ranbhoomi is one of my dream projects. So research on that is on. But you never know. If one of the other idea clicks and I get time to make that before Ranbhoomi, maybe. But I think it's time yet that I think we need to live with Dhadak a little bit more. Just let more people see it, and then maybe in the next 1.5 months, I have more clarity in life.
Keep the hearts racing, actually.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. So thank you very much. Lovely talking to you guys, and congratulations once again. And we hope that the movie continues doing great business at the box office. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
That's all we have from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.
Hi, this is Shashank Khaitan.
This is Janvi.
This is Ishan.
And
you're watching Bollywood